Hey, you guys. Welcome back to the Listen Bitch podcast. Today is not a regular day. In fact, this is take three for me because you guys, this is episode 500. 500 episodes. I went back and listened to my first 10 today. And honestly, embarrassing is an understatement. But you guys, this is the point. This is the point, isn't it? Like growth should make you cringe a little. If you don't look back and wince or feel nauseous, I feel like you're not even evolving. Okay. I am, this is, the words, you guys, the words, I just don't even have the words because I am full of so many different emotions. And I love that I am here and present and I can experience this. And it took me setting back for a second, just to say, hey, it's time to get the show done. Right. But I gave myself that chance to like celebrate and feel emotional. I am celebrating this full circle moment because you guys have literally watched me grow in real time. You have heard the shaky beginnings. You've heard every messy chapter. You have heard me figure out my voice while I was still in the fire. And that is the heart of this show, to help you step into your potential while I'm stepping into mine, to show you that healing isn't polished. It's not perfect. It's fucking chaos. It's stumbling forward. It's getting up again and again and again and showing up and celebrating your damn self when no one else is clapping. Do you think I woke up to a big party today? Do you think there's going to be a big celebration because I hit episode 500? No one gives a fuck. This is for me to celebrate. This is my accomplishment. This is me looking back and saying, you know what? I said I was going to do something. I committed. I did it. And the guy that I talked to that actually got me started with the podcast, first thing he said is nobody sticks with it. And that resonated. I'm not going to be like everybody else. I'm not going to be the 80% of podcasters who start a show and give up. I did it. And I am celebrating myself on such a beautiful level tonight. Like I love this. And I love that I can come on here and I get to record this. And I want you guys to feel that with me. And I'm going to talk a little bit today about what really has carried me through 500 episodes. Okay. That taking responsibility for your life, tapping into that insane power of neuroplasticity, and choosing to become the hero of your own story instead of waiting for anybody to save me. I'll make this very clear. You are not stuck. You just need some rewiring. You are becoming. And if I can go from these awkward first episodes, like I am so embarrassed. Even my little girls, my 7 and 11-year-old, were just like, this is so bad, mom. They hear me now, so they know where I'm at. And to hear where I came from, it's so bad, mom. This is it. If I can go from those awkward episodes to this moment, will you just trust me when I say your growth is already happening, even if it feels so, so messy? These are the things I did. I took that responsibility. I stopped waiting for the perfect mood to show up. I record when I am tired. I record when I'm stressed, annoyed, when I'm insecure. I don't wait for inspiration to drop. That is responsibility. That is choosing obedience over vibes. And I had to stop outsourcing my healing to God and then refusing to participate. I pray, I move. I don't sit around saying God's going to fix it. It is literally, I wake up every day and I'm like, God, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? Telling the truth, even if it's scary, episode after episode, I say everything that people are afraid to say. That is emotional responsibility. And that is how you rewire a life. I have a lot of tattoos, but I stopped acting like trauma was one. Okay. It's scar tissue, it's real, but you can work with it. It's something that you can heal. I stopped blaming, bullshit excuses. Stop pretending that my comfort wasn't killing what I'm called to do. It's that how did I get here? Episode 1 to 500, choosing growth over familiar pain. That is the snowball into 500 episodes of proof of what I've done. That is the legacy I want to leave. I wake up and ask, like, what part of this is mine? My choices are mine. My patterns are mine. My reactions are mine. My future is mine. I have 6 kids. Life gets crazy. Stuff gets overwhelming. I don't carry the stuff that's not mine. Other people's opinions. I don't carry that. Old labels, old patterns, family patterns, the voice of shame, society's expectations. I don't carry any of that bullshit. Taking responsibility is saying I'm done acting like a side character in my own damn life. Your mind is like a browser with too many tabs open. And responsibility means you have to hit the X on everything that is not your mission. And if you're like me, you're still going to have tabs open, but look what we can do, bitch. Look what the fuck we can do. Your life, it's a house. Responsibility is realizing that you hold the key, you pay the rent, you decide what gets to come and sit on the couch. Your habits are what cement, and the longer you wait, the harder it is to reshape. But if you get your hands in it now, you can sculpt whatever you want. And I think neuroplasticity is a huge part of why I'm here, just rewiring. I thought my brain was a personality prison, but I'm telling you right now, you are not stuck with the wiring that you woke up with. You're not just like this. You have trained yourself and been trained and influenced to be like this. Anything trained can be retrained. And beginning of my show, even now, I haven't done an episode for a long time. Microdosing is a 10 out of 10 from me. But there are other ways. When I say microdosing, I'm talking about psilocybin. If you're new here, I go through periods of cycling microdosing psilocybin, and it has been a godsend in my life for so many reasons. But there are also tangible ways to rewire your brain by interrupting patterns the second things start, catching the spark and being able to call yourself out like, we're not doing this anymore. Your brain hates empty space, so you can't just stop. Can't just stop scrolling. You can't just stop doing the things. You have to swap the loop. So it's just little dumb little things. Like instead of doom scrolling, hit the treadmill for 3 to 5 minutes. Instead of overthinking, say something out loud to yourself. Like, what is the actual problem? Doing the uncomfortable thing first. That's how I got here. That's how I rewired my brain. And it's going to rewire the fastest when you push it against your default setting. You don't ease into discomfort, you guys. You hit it head on before your excuses wake up. And then you've got to change your environment to change your behavior. Put the triggers out of reach. Put your tools in plain sight. You are not weak. This is just how you're wired. And you have to start talking to yourself like you're leading someone you love. You think I'm at 500 episodes because I wake up every day and I say, Brandon, you're a piece of shit. I hate you. You're disgusting. You're an idiot. You're retarded. Do I say all that stuff to myself? Do you think I would be here on the 500th episode? No. I talk to myself like I'm leading someone I love because my brain is going to listen to my tone. And if you speak to yourself like trash, your brain responds like trash. But if you speak to yourself like you're becoming someone powerful, your brain recognizes to match it. I got out of that default mode network. The DMN, I stayed there. I was stuck there for a long time. And you could hear through these old episodes where I was at. I could hear the loops. I see it. You can't keep living in the loops, reliving old fears, old patterns, old stories. Like that means you're just surviving and you're not actually becoming. So you shut that down by trying something new. You focus on some level of intensity, maybe a workout. And it is just focusing, single task, no more multitasking. And it is presence. I do still struggle with that one a lot. that balance between family and work and the presence, like shutting off each task when I'm done, like knowing I'm doing this episode today, I'm binging old content, my girls still need things from me, and trying to be both people at the same time doesn't make me a very present person. But this is it, you guys. I became my own damn hero. It is the truth. I've been telling you from day one. No one is coming. No one's going to save you. No one is going to come in and swoop up and fix the things that you refuse to face. But I want you to understand, becoming your own hero doesn't mean that you're alone. It means that you're responsible. It means that you act. It means that you tell the story instead of continuing to narrate the tragedy. Stop waiting for the version of you with no fear, because heroes act scared. Cowards wait for bravery to magically appear. You guys understand? I still get nervous, and I do it anyway. I choose the hard thing on purpose. Those tiny private decisions that nobody else sees, I make those. I wish I could say I make one every day, but I make enough that I move the needle without giving myself pressure to do a million. Stop with the victim language. I can't. They make me. I don't know how. Like, kill that off. It's you're living a self-fulfilling prophecy. Things that I've said to myself as I'm learning, I'm going to try again. I'm choosing something different. It's okay to be different. Do you know how many times I changed on an incredible level throughout this podcast? I don't recognize episode 1 Brandon. And that is such a gift. It feels like it's been decades since I've been her. And this is part that kind of gets me choked up. I love that scrappy woman so much. I love her because she's gotten me here to this moment where I really have that confidence and power in my voice, in my message, in my platform, in everything that I'm doing. Because I ask what's possible. Practice courage in little doses. Say the thing, set the boundary, show the work, record the episode. It's small courage reps, and that's how I've had such a huge identity shift, because I did it. And I had to start acting like someone worth rooting for. You don't get to sabotage yourself for emotional comfort. I've had to rise for the mission after falling 1,000 times. You know how many times I've started over? I call this season 8 or season 9. I don't even know what season we're on, but I feel like everything I've looked back on today, it's time to start a new season for the show. And that's an emotional shift. I know you guys don't give a shit. You don't understand the seasons. It is a Brandon Lynette has really transformed herself this many times in 500 episodes. That is huge. It is time for you to rise for the mission, to rise for the people that you're called to lead, to rise because you know your obedience is going to save lives of people that you have never met. Every single day I record, this is a God. I know there's one person. I'm going to be realistic, right? Here's what I know. Realistically, I am never going to have the #1 national podcast in the world, right? I probably won't even be in the top 100. It's just okay. And I'm okay with that. This isn't so I can be the next Joe Rogan. Okay. There's a lot of things I don't respect about him. I don't want to be that guy. A lot of things I do respect. It's admirable. He's worked his ass off. But that was never my calling to be at that level. And so when you get down here and you start something, if you're trying to do this for the world, for this entire audience, I don't care if you're just wanting to go on a Facebook Live. If you break this down just to one person, making the difference in the life of one person, that to me is a big deal. And I get that feedback all the time that I'm doing that. So maybe I don't have 1 million downloads yet. Okay. I think I'll get there for sure. Maybe I don't have 1 million downloads yet, but I know that every episode touches one person. One person. That's our calling. God isn't asking you to save the world. He sent his son to do some shit like that for us. You're here to save yourself and turn around and help one person. One person. That's taking massive responsibility for your life. That's you being willing to rewire your brain. And that is you becoming your own fucking hero. I have done this 500 times, 500 times. And this is the only time I'm ever going to get to say this on the Listen Bitch podcast. I did this 500 times. And I know how you can do this too. Taking responsibility, bitch. It's not a self-help guru bullshit where you manifest your way to success while pretending everything's fine. I'm pretty sure beginning Brandon did that. But what it really is that gritty, uncomfortable work of looking at your life and saying, what is mine? You guys think I've felt inspired this whole time? You think everything in my life is perfect? You think I have some massive download from God every single Tuesday? I show up on the days that my kids are screaming or that there is some family unit breakdown, that I'm struggling with kids or whatever it is. Life didn't pause for me. I have showed up in this chair when I felt like a fraud. I've showed up when I had $7 in my bank account and wasn't sure how I was going to buy groceries. I took responsibility for the commitment I made publicly, which means I couldn't hide from it. And what I need you to understand is taking responsibility doesn't mean beating yourself up when things go wrong. It means that you're the one holding the steering wheel of your life. You didn't design the car. You didn't build the roads. You didn't create the traffic, but you're the one driving. So stop blaming the car. Stop blaming the roads and stop blaming the traffic. Figure out how to drive anyway. When something doesn't work out, you don't get to spiral into that. Why does this always happen to me? What I have learned to ask is, what is this teaching me? What do I need to shift? What's my next move? Like, bitch, you are in the arena. You're in the game. You are not watching this from the sidelines. And there's always going to be people that disappoint you. Always. You don't get to stew in resentment for weeks. You ask yourself, where did I not set the boundary? What expectation did I have that I didn't communicate? What was I hoping they'd do that I could have just done myself? When you are unhappy with your results, you stop the excuses. You don't blame the algorithm. You don't blame the economy. You don't blame your circumstances. You look at what you've actually been doing and ask yourself, is this going to get me where I want to go? If it's not, you have to change it. Massive responsibility when you're triggered. You actually feel it instead of numbing it. You don't scroll, you don't shop, you don't binge, you don't busy yourself into fucking oblivion. You sit with it. You sit with the discomfort and you move it through your body. You process this shit instead of storing it for later. Taking responsibility means you stop making yourself small to manage other people's bullshit. Stop apologizing for taking up space. You think I'm saying sorry to anybody for taking up space? You stop dimming your light because someone else feels intimidated. You own that you're intense. You own that you're a lot, that you want more. Own that. Stop treating those things like problems that need fixing. Stop telling victim stories. Notice when you are narrating your life like things are happening to you. I never get picked. No one ever listens. No one ever shares my post. No one ever comments. Things never work out for me. I don't have time. It's too late. Interrupt that story mid-sentence and reframe it. I haven't pursued this in a way that works yet. I'm choosing to prioritize other things right now. Suddenly, like, you're back in control. You have to own your actual choices. If you say you don't have time for something, you're lying to yourself. You have time. You're just choosing to spend it on other things. And that's it. It's very important, especially when you're setting boundaries, right? I'm not choosing to make time for this right now. Say that instead of I just don't have time, because you're going to feel the difference. One of those gives you your power back. And it's very important, okay, that you track what you actually do. People ask me all the time, how do you do all the things that you do with homeschooling kids? My son's in school, in public school. He does public sports, wrestling. It's a lot of time. I have 3 podcast shows. I'm the sole runner of the household. Okay. So that's taking care of my husband and his laundry and his food and things to make him comfortable for his job. That's homeschooling 2 littles. That's, both of my boys here. And still my older girls, I still, I answer the phone when they need something and I'm there. How do you do that? Because I look at these things and I think, what am I willing to make time for? What is important to me? This podcast has become a part of who I am, and it's always going to take the front burner to anything else. This is my heart and my passion and my voice and my calling. And I, building the foundation of everything I've done, bringing God into this is absolutely aligned. Track what you do. And is it aligned with what you say you want? You cannot take responsibility for patterns you refuse to see. And right now, indecision, a lot of you are stuck in indecision. This is you hoping the universe will decide for you so you don't have to own the outcome. And that's bullshit. You have to practice making even small decisions very quickly. The restaurant you're going to, the outfit, what to post, just choose and move on. You are building the muscle of trusting yourself to handle whatever happens. And what has been important for me is setting those boundaries like your life depends on it. It does. Every time you say yes and you mean no, every time you tolerate disrespect, every time you let someone drain your energy, that's you not taking responsibility for protecting yourself. So you have to start saying no, start walking away, start ending conversations that are not serving you. And for the love of all things holy, I want you to stop asking permission. When you run your ideas by other people before acting on them, you're not actually asking for advice. You're outsourcing the responsibility of your decision. Trust yourself more than you trust everyone else's opinion about your life. You know how many people told me starting a podcast was stupid? There's no point. There's too many podcasts out there. You're never going to make it. You'll never get rich off of this. There is no point. There's too much competition out there. And then there's the temptation to sell out so that I can rank. Set the boundaries. I did not need permission from anyone. And at this point, this is between me and God, and you guys are the bonus. You are the bonus right now. Stop trusting other people more than you trust yourself. And you have to learn to own your desires without apologizing. Stop downplaying what you want. Stop making yourself want less so it hurts less if you don't get it. If you want the business, go for it. If you want the relationship, do it. If you want the life, then take responsibility for actually going after it instead of just wishing it would fall into your lap. Here's what a lot of people don't know. And I've talked about this so much, but it's episode 500. We're just going to review that. Okay. Your brain is wildly, beautifully adaptable. And every single pattern you have, the anxiety spirals, the self-sabotage, the procrastination, the negative self-talk, it's all just neural pathways that got carved through repetition. And what got carved one way, you guys understand, can absolutely be carved differently. Your default mode network is your brain on autopilot. You guys have been living on autopilot for so long. This is the cruise control that runs your life when you're not paying attention. It's the voice in your head that narrates everything, predicting the future based on your past, telling you who you are and what's possible for you. Here's the problem. That autopilot was programmed by your past, your childhood, your traumas, your repeated experiences, every story you've told yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. So when you just let the default mode network run the show, you're literally living out old programming. And the DMN wants to keep you safe. It wants to keep you predictable, familiar. It will keep you in patterns that feel comfortable even when they're slowly killing you. It will talk you out of risk. It will convince you that change is dangerous. And it will tell you the story of who you've always been and why you can't be different. You have to interrupt this, because if you don't, you're never really living. You're just running a program. You're reacting instead of responding. You're repeating the same patterns and wondering why nothing changes. You're on autopilot heading towards a destination you never actually chose. Breaking out of that default mode network means getting present. It means getting conscious. It means getting intentional. And yes, bitch, it takes more energy. Yes, bitch, it's uncomfortable. But that discomfort is That's literally the feeling of your brain building new pathways. That's where all of this transformation happens. That's what got Brandon from episode 1 to episode 500. Catching that pattern in real time. Your brain cannot rewire what it doesn't notice. I'm just saying, start paying attention to your automatic thoughts and reactions. When something triggers you, pause and say it out loud. Just notice how it starts to weaken that pathway. You're pulling yourself out of autopilot. And when you catch that old pattern, do something different. Just do something different. If your automatic thought when someone criticizes you is, I'm not good enough, interrupt it with, or maybe their opinion has nothing to do with my worth. Because new actions create new pathways. Repeat these patterns until it's automatic. One interruption, it's not going to rewire anything. You need that constant repetition. Your brain changes through repeated new behaviors that become your new normal. It's not motivation you need, it's repetition. And that's why habits work and inspiration doesn't. I want to make sure you guys make this physical because your body holds these patterns too. You can't think your way out of patterns that live in your nervous system. So you have to move your body differently. Do a dance, shake it out, jump, do something with your hands. Physical shifts create neural shifts. And that's part of why I'm obsessed with the microdose thing, okay? Because it disrupts my normal physical and mental patterns simultaneously. But you can also do this like through, maybe exercising, cold exposure in the shower, ice baths if you have it. Anything that's going to wake your system up will change this. And then, your brain has linked behaviors to places. So if you know that you always doom scroll when you sit on the couch, like stop sitting there, right? Change the context, work in different rooms, rearrange your furniture. I definitely rearranging my office. I've done it several times during these shifts, but this last time I did it, it's like the perfect I can focus now. And that's all it took, just rearranging the furniture where I wasn't distracted. I wasn't thinking about other things. I have it to where I feel like closed in my space. Just go. Take a different route, whatever that is. Your brain has to wake up and pay attention when the environment is shifting. And I feel like, too, another thing that really, really helps, instead of vague intentions, like I'll be more consistent, like create specific if then statements. If I wake up, then I immediately move my body for 5 minutes before touching my phone. You preload a new pathway so your brain doesn't have to make a decision. It just says, if I wake up, then I will. Okay. And you have to celebrate immediately when you do the new thing. When you interrupt an old pattern and do the new behavior, you have to mark it. Like say fuck yes out loud. Okay. When I read the Bible before I touch my phone, I'm like, hell yeah, we did that. Hell yeah, we did that. Dance, fist pump, whatever it is. Your brain releases dopamine when you celebrate, and that literally strengthens the new neural pathway. So it's not toxic positivity bullshit. You're hacking your brain's natural reward system. And then I want you to stack new habits on existing strong ones. You already have routines that are strong neural pathways, so hijack them. Maybe you're someone who makes coffee every morning. Like that's your cue for 3 minutes of journaling. You brush your teeth every night. That's your cue to write down tomorrow's top priority. So piggyback on existing things that are automated. That's it. And maybe bore yourself out of the old story because your brain loves a story and it keeps replaying the same ones unless you actively interrupt it. So when you catch yourself in an old narrative, like I never follow through, I could never do 500 episodes. I'm not disciplined. Success isn't for people like me. Stop. Say something absurd to break the pattern. I never follow through. Wait, I've been showing up consistently for months. So that is an old story, right? I walked myself through that process. You have to feed your brain completely different inputs. Your neural networks are shaped by what you consume. If you're in the same echo chamber, consuming the same content, talking to the same people, your brain just reinforces existing pathways. Actively seek out different perspectives. Read books by people who think nothing like you. Have conversations that challenge your worldview. Your brain needs novelty to build new connections. Use pattern interrupts, okay? Especially if you're on an emotional spiral. So when you feel yourself start to spiral with that anxiety or overwhelm, that familiar sinking feeling, like physically interrupt it. Jump up and down, splash cold water on your face. My hands are always cold, so I literally take them. And if you ever see me on podcast interviews and things, when I start to get anxious or whatever it is, it's hard for me to sometimes just sit still, especially through an interview. I take my cold ass hands and I just put them on the small of my back. It is a shock. It is a shock. And I stop the spiral. That's it. And a spiral is body based. So the interrupt needs to be too. Like you're teaching your nervous system that the spiral isn't inevitable. Okay. Practice the opposite action. Whatever your autopilot wants to do the opposite. If anxiety tells you to hide, go call somebody. If perfectionism tells you to keep polishing, hit publish. And if fear tells you to play small, post the scariest fucking thing you can imagine. You're literally training your brain that the opposite of your default is safe too, you know? And the part, I think, the biggest part that's going to change everything for you. Okay. What nobody tells you about being the hero of your own story. It doesn't feel heroic. Like I've been waiting for the epic music and some dramatic moments. Literally being my own hero feels like showing up on a random Tuesday when I'm fucking tired and I'm doing the thing anyway. It's like making the hard choice when the easy one is sitting right there. You know, it feels like being terrified and taking the steps anyway. Doing the things, not being afraid to start over. I'm a hero because I took my baby YouTube channel and I started it. And I think I have like 130 followers right now with one view on my big videos. Do it anyway. It's terrifying to post on there. Real heroism is really quiet and it's really fucking messy. And what it means is that you're just choosing yourself over and over and over when nobody is watching. Nobody's watching. Do you think someone's going to call me if I just don't ever record another podcast episode? Well, now they would, but not in the beginning. You guys, you have to believe in your vision when you have zero evidence that it's going to work out. How many times have I face planted? How many times? I can't even count. But I get right the fuck back up. I get up after I face plant again and again and again and again and again. I have fallen so many times that I know it's just natural. If there is someone out there that you're following that says they never fall, they never stumble, fuck those people, run. That's a red flag. You become your own hero the exact moment you stop waiting for someone else to save you. When you stop waiting for someone to validate you, when you stop waiting for someone to fix you or to complete you or to give you permission to want what you want. Stop waiting for someone to tell you everything's okay. Stop running your idea by 5 different people. The decision you're second guessing, you're waiting for someone to affirm it. Just stop. Tell yourself it's okay. Give yourself the permission. You don't need a committee to approve your life. Your potential is between you and God. Your message, your mission on this earth and this human experience, that is only yours. Nobody else knows shit about that. And the closest people to you are going to hurt your feelings the most. No one's ever going to understand your vision, babe. It's just not going to happen. Please understand you don't need a fucking committee to approve your life. When you're at a crossroads, I don't want you to ask yourself what feels safe. I want you to ask yourself, what would the version of me who's living my dream life choose here? That version of you is not scared of visibility. She's not playing small. She's not overthinking. Like, channel her, choose what she would choose. And when you are spiraling, when you are stuck, when you are drowning, if I was waiting, I've been all those things. Spiraling, stuck, drowning. If I was waiting for someone to come and pull me out, I'd be dead, bitch. Dead. Listen, bitch would no longer exist. I never waited for someone to pull me out. Ask yourself, what would I tell my best friend if she was in this situation? Then do that for yourself. Be the person that saves you. Stop tolerating the disrespect, the energy vampires, the relationships that drain you, the work that degrades you, the conversations that make you feel small. Heroes don't just save the world, they protect their own energy so they have the strength to keep showing up. People are going to project their fears, their limitations, and their small thinking all over your face, all over you. They're going to tell you that your dreams are unrealistic. They're going to question your choices. Even at 500 episodes, I got people talking shit. And that's okay. They're going to think you're too much. Your job is to trust your inner knowing more than you trust that external bullshit. What is that thing you're avoiding right now? That thing that you're avoiding because it scares you. There's a video you won't post. There is a price you won't charge. There's an ask you're afraid to make. There's a boundary you're afraid to set. There's a podcast you're wanting to start. That's exactly where you need to go. Whatever scares you the most right now, go there, do that, because courage is action in the presence of fear. You guys understand, like, none of this is going to be perfect. I've shown you my mess ups are public. That's going to happen. The heroic part is owning it completely, learning from it, and not letting it define you. I know there's going to be a point where I really have to face a lot of bullshit from my past, and I'm okay with that because I screwed up a lot. But that's where I get to say, look, I fucked up. Dear God, I fucked up. It's what I tell them very often because I still mess up, okay? But this is what we say. I really, really fucked up, and here's what I'm learning, and here's what I'm doing differently. And you move forward without having to drag the shame with you. You know, stop blowing past your accomplishments like they're nothing. To someone out there, 500 episodes is not a lot. It's whatever. Who cares? This is huge to me. Huge to me. I'm celebrating every time I've ever shown up, every small victory, every moment that I've chosen myself has been to get to this moment, and that matters. So let yourself feel proud because I am proud as fuck. Heroes acknowledge their victories. Okay. So pat on the back, Brandon Lynette. Hell yeah. I love you, babe. I knew you could do this. I believed in you from the beginning, and that's bullshit. I didn't believe in myself at first, but I do now, and that's part of the journey. The most heroic thing you can do is completely unapologetically be yourself in a world that is going to ask you to be someone else. Be too much. Be intense. Be weird. Be a walking paradox. I fuck with people all day long. Be exactly who you are, even when it costs you opportunities that were not meant for you. And choose yourself every single day. This is a daily practice. Choosing yourself when it would be easier to people please, that's a tough one. Choosing your vision when it would be easier to play small and just live a mundane, boring ass life and not rock the boat, bitch, you will die with regret. Choosing growth. Choosing growth makes you a hero when it would be easier to stay comfortable. Every day you wake up and you just choose yourself again. Listen, bitch, I am not special. I don't have some secret formula that you don't have. I'm a girl's girl. I don't gatekeep this shit, okay? I've just decided to take responsibility for my life and to rewire the patterns that weren't serving me. And I stopped waiting for someone to save me. You can do this too. You can absolutely do this too. And the question isn't whether you're capable. The question is whether you're going to actually do it. Okay? That's it, bitches. I think that's it for episode 500. I am seriously going to get off of here and go cry and jump around and celebrate and just do whatever because I just am in awe of myself and I get to be there. I've earned that place. And then I'm going to ask myself the question, how do I make the next 500 episodes more powerful? You know, how do I get you to actually take what I say and transform it into the life of your dreams? If you guys have been here since the beginning, you've watched me grow in public. You know, if you're newer, just know I didn't wake up like this. I fought for this voice. I rewired my brain. I brought God in the mix. I became the hero of my own story. And the woman you're listening to right now, I became her one messy decision at a time. And that is the whole point. You can do the same thing. Your brain can change. Your habits can change. Your heart can change. Your life can change. But it starts with you actually leading yourself. No more waiting for perfect. No more hiding behind old stories. You have to step up. You have to be your hero. God gave you a voice and a calling for a reason. Don't bury it because you're scared. Thank you, bitches, for riding with me through 500 episodes of grit, growth, and Jesus probably dragging me by my hair a little bit into my purpose. I love you guys. I am grateful for you. And we are just getting started. So I'll see you on the next one, bitch.